Tom is going to be turning on the camera, so you might want to think about your conversations.
I know what I wanted to know. Anybody around this post ever had a different selection of the or do they do it? They do it. Or they send it out? I mean, they're sending me to community care.
Yeah, they're sending everybody to you. They actually love up to you. They don't have to deal with You talk like Yoda.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start the meeting. Captain of the Color Guard, please advance and post colors. Hand salute.
Color guard. Halt. Right place. Post. Colors. Present arms.
Joining the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ready, two. Left face. Forward heart.
Uncover. Post chaplain, please provide an opening prayer.
Let's bow our heads. Dear Heavenly Father, come back to you again tonight to ask that you be with our leaders, our elected officers, and help them conduct this meeting to the benefit of this legion. We know that you've been with us all along for many, many years. We ask that you continue to bless us. We'll come back to you at the end of the meeting. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Recover. I now declare American Legion Post 233, Department of Georgia, regularly convened. Please join me in reciting the American Legion preamble. For God and country, we associate ourselves together for the following purposes: to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States of America, to maintain law and order, to foster and perpetuate a 100% Americanism, to preserve the memories and incidents of our associations in all wars, don't inculcate a state and citizen obligation to the community, state, and nation to combat the hypocrisy of both the classes and the masses, to make right the master of might, to promote peace and goodwill on earth, to safeguard and transmit to posterity the principles of justice, freedom, and democracy, to consecrate and sanctify our comradeship by our devotion to mutual helpfulness. Statement. Do we have a quorum?
Yes, sir, we have a point.
Read the summary of this. Okay.
Well, first of all, one lucky member out there is going to win a prize. So if you'll open your minutes, and if you have a colored copy of the writers in your minutes, attached to your minutes, you win 2 lunches from the Patriot Grill. So check your minutes, and if you have that, let us know. There we go.
All right.
You have this?
I don't have a question. Where are this information you're talking about?
Back on that back table.
We're out.
I don't have anything like that.
Now we've got it.
Okay. Proceeding with the minutes. First of all, renewals. Let me get that in. We have 338 renewals. We have 45 new members, which is pretty exciting. We have 9 transfers, and we have 29 paid up for life, which is a total of 421. So no one has the magic picture, I guess. Cannon for next one. Okay, brief reading of the minutes. If you look on the front page there, the National Commander came to visit. That was quite an event, and he's really a nice guy. So, membership dues will increase to $40 next year, so be prepared to dig a little deeper. Bingo income is down a little bit, and I'm sure Fritz will address that some. Look at the committee reports, they're attached. Legion Riders, legislative report. Blood drive coming up Thursday. I'm sure Jerry will tell us a little more about that. And see what our good friends at Operation Rally Point and our wonderful VSO are doing. That's down there on that front page also, so check that out. And then on the back, we have some, or the back page, we have some coming events that our VSO is involved in too, deep in. I want to get you on the big screen. Yeah, that's it. April gun show, August car show, and he's working on a bike show and some other things. So that's a brief reading of the minutes. Any corrections? Concerns? Okay.
Carry on, sir. Here.
I have the picture. That's
It
has to be
It
color.
has to be a color picture, and I know that everyone's going to run back and pick up the minutes at the back table now.
Somebody should have
Yeah.
that. Start at the top.
Do I have a motion to accept the minutes as published and read? Thank you. Thank you, Paul. And second? You got, okay. Someone out there.
Somebody out there, me.
All in favor? All opposed? Carries. Thank you. Let us move on. Okay, I'd like to recognize our past commanders who are present tonight. Stan Malden.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Tom Williams.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Mike Burwell.
Stand up.
Yes, sir. He is standing. Thank you. Sorry, Mike. Okay, we have also distinguished visitors. We have a current mayor and a past mayor. So glad to have you with us this evening, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, and you can see our current mayor for pecans afterwards, I'm sure.
Good evening, beautiful people.
Wait a minute. And Dan, yes, I passed Mayor. Dan wisely has chosen to just remain quiet. All right. Do we have any visitors or new members or Space Force veterans? New members, Nadia, you want to tell us about yourself? I know about you, I just asked you.
I'm a U.S. Navy veteran. I lived in 1978 to 1991. I did 4 years of active duty and 10 years reserve. My dog was an AK, and I really enjoyed it.
So glad to have you aboard. And we have, yes, sir.
New member, effective today, Mark Hall, former United States Army. Right, I love that. We just recently relocated from Baltimore, Maryland to here, and love it. People are great, nice and quiet, and peaceful and things, and I look forward to meeting and working with everyone here.
Welcome.
Glad to have you with us, Martin. It won't stay nice and quiet very long, so don't get used to it. Do we have William? Yes, sir.
Yes, I am William, better known as Bill Morrow, it's like Morrow, Georgia, Army Signal Corps. Spent my time at Fort Monmouth, which is now part of the Signal Center, I think is important here. And I was an instructor there during 64 to 67. Came down on orders 3 different times to ship out, had bags packed, shots guns, and they were short on instructors. The commanding general just said, "We really want you to stay here." Well, Bill, what do you think about that? And I said, "Well, that sounds pretty good to me, sir." So I didn't have to ship out. I'm very happy to be here. I've lived in Atlanta since about 1970. My wife and I came down from New Jersey, and I think I'm a Southerner. I love this post.
But we're glad to have you here anyway. So. Okay, and our photographer over here is you new to the post, or you've been here?
I joined in September last year.
September of last year. Don't mind him, he's taking pictures and things. He's an expert. Do not attempt this at home. So, I'd like to briefly give you a commander's report before I brief you on the month of January and the things that have come. Please allow me to offer condolences to the family of Reggie Rogers. Those of us who knew him, who rode with him, who laughed with him, especially a lot of laughter with Reggie. We're going to miss him a lot. We stood flag lines. We just had a great time together. So if you can attend his service next Monday, please do. The details of the upcoming events are actually, Mike has sent those out through mail. And if you're not getting in your subject line something that says post 233, you're not getting the emails from Mike Madsen here. And you need to see him to be sure that you have an accurate email address, or that he has your accurate.
C. Roy. C. Roy.
Leroy?
C. Roy.
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 Roy, or C. Roy, but eventually it's going to get to him. But Roy needs to have an accurate email for you. So if you're not getting one of these things that's got in the subject line, post 233, we don't have the right email on you. We need to fix that. January, that we just finally finished. And it was an extremely busy month. To start the month, we had a country breakfast, and that's going to happen every first Saturday of the month. So you can put it on your calendar. We're not going to disturb that. That is there. And it's a really good breakfast at a very good price. If you were not able to attend the luncheon for the National Commander's Visit and you missed a great meal, prepared by Crystal Wilson, our staff, family members, and the Ladies Auxiliary. We missed a wonderful speech by our JAG, Tom Williams, about what's going on here in our post. And I was kind of surprised that the state was surprised. They had, I don't know, we sent stuff out. There's no pictures or anything, so I'm going to fix that. They were extremely surprised with what we're doing, have been doing for the homeless veterans and their families. And there was a great gathering here. We had Legion members from other posts. We had staff from the Department of Georgia with us, as well as our mayor gave him a proclamation, which he's excellent at doing. And our district senator, Ray Martinez, gave him a state flag of Georgia that had been flown up the Gold Dome. So, and by the way, if you haven't made yourself familiar with the writing of our national commander, it's in the Legion magazine. I invite you to take some time and read that. There's some wonderful, actually, there's some great articles in there that I think you would enjoy reading. So upcoming, and this will all be published, so you don't have to make notes and all that other good stuff. There's a PTSD meeting this Friday, February 7th, 1300 to 1400 in the main hall. That's here. And Mike is going to give us kind of a very brief overview of that when it's his time to speak in the meeting. There's a District 10 meeting this Saturday, February the 8th at Post 64 in Monroe. Registration is 0930. The Ladies Auxiliary will have their district meeting here on this Saturday also. Our senior vice has set up a CPR first aid class, correct? For the 20th, from 1000 hours to 1500. If you're interested in being in that or want more information, that's the person to see. Our next country breakfast is March the 1st, if you want to put that in your calendar or on your phone or whatever. Every Friday we have a social gathering of some sort. In Friday evenings, it starts at 1800, and there'll be some kind of specialty food at 1830. And bike night is always the fourth Friday night of the month. I would like to thank Mike Madsen for getting so much information to you about what event we are doing here at the Post. And there's a ton. We're on Facebook. When it comes time, he puts it on the website. And I invite you to keep up with those things. And I would like lastly to tell you that the activities that we're doing here at our Legion are based on suggestions from you, the members. We're not just kind of pulling things out of our sleeves. We take whatever that you suggest to heart, and we want to do things that you're interested in doing. So also, if you're wondering if you have a way that you can help us, this will sound strange. Consider assisting the bingo duty officers. It's a limited time that you're here. And if you could come in and just help by answering the phone, it would be greatly appreciated. And we do this during bingo. Of course, that's why it's called the bingo duty officers. And we get here and let the community services get registered at 4:30, and we're no later than 9:30 at night. So on Sundays, it's brutal. And we appreciate Al Walecki for being here on Sundays. It really and truly, as we're finding out more we do this, to do the job right, it takes two people here. So if you want to help us and you have the time, then just come down and help us at the beginning of bingo. If nothing else, answer the phone so we're free as the bingo duty officer to do all the things we have to do. Or you could simply go out and do a security walk for us. That's just checking the doors to be sure that they're locked. It's an amazing thing to have somebody down here to help, or to just be here and you can go do those things. But there are certain duties here that if you haven't received instructions on them, we're not gonna turn that over to you because it's not always fun and games. So that is my commander's report, and combined with district news and department news and things like that. I invite you really, do all of you get the Legionnaire, the Legion magazine at your home? If you're a member, you should be getting it, right? Yes? Okay, we get extra ones here. It's not, and you can also find it by going to legion.org, where we have all kinds of stuff. You can get paraphernalia for clothing. So, I'm going to move to the finance officer report. Okay. I'm going to start it, but Tim is going to end it. So, after the last meeting, our scout leader came and said, thanks so much for telling me that what was really happening, because I was really getting kind of down on this report that you're giving. And I said, well, if you don't want to hear that anymore, then you're going to have to come up here and tell us what's going on. So Tim Weichert has begrudgingly, I'm sorry, not begrudgingly, has willingly accepted this task. So I'm going to let him talk to you about what you see in front of you. While he's coming up, I will tell you that the front page of your finance thing is the typical. It tells you what the current balance is as of 3 o'clock this afternoon, and it's already changed. Our total current balance is $68,536.78 as of 3 o'clock. And now Tim Weichert is going to share with you what you're looking at on page number 2, which says January 25.
Thanks.
Thank you, Tim. It's all yours and it's ready to go.
My name is Tim. However, some of you may know me as Ted. Just saying.
Just say.
All right, so I took the financial statement that you are normally used to seeing. It was close to 2 pages long. I took that down to 1 page. I combined a bunch of lines together that need to be combined together. It's easier to read this way. Going forward, you'll see a column that says January. Next month, we're going to have January and February, along with the year-to-date and an average for the months to date. Y'all did good in January. Y'all made 11% net income, which is phenomenal. Y'all should be proud of yourselves. I thought that was great to see that. But this will allow you all to see trends throughout the year of what's working, what's not working. November, I'm told, is a very heavy expense month. December is a slow month. January through October, the goal is to preserve as much cash as possible. So more events, Mike. No pressure.
No pressure.
So, but your total income for the year, for the month, was about $69,000. Your expenses were around just shy of $62,000, giving net income of $7.5 for the month. That's pretty good. Looking at previous statements, I thought that was phenomenal. I was very happy to see this, and I hope that trend continues. I think the events are helping out, and this will be an easier read statement going forward. This is how I do it at the business I manage. I do a construction company. We drop the pennies as well. No one cares about 13 cents really, or 67 cents. Unless you're a private sitting in the barracks, you care about the 13 cents. That's how I look at it. I mean, and I'm open to suggestions. I talked to Fritz about that. If we need to change something, we're open to suggestions on it. And then as the year goes on by, we can start doing comparative statements. What happened first quarter 2025 compared to first quarter, say, 2024. And see, as Mike has more events, no pressure, Mike, how things are progressing. And we can keep on doing that. And that's something we use a tool at the place I work at, and it's been very phenomenal. It's an eye-opener of what goes on. Of course, on the construction industry, it's very cyclic, especially with the election cycle that's just occurred. Do you all have any questions on the financial statements? Yes?
Does the Post keep the cash available as instant liquid cash, or is part of that invested in CDs or any sort of I noticed that the interest rate was 0.25 Is that correct?
That's definitely a commander question.
Well, with my wonderful hearing, what's the question?
Basically, is any of the money that
Is it all
is,
liquid or
is
invested?
it invested?
All, what you see here is, yeah, it's all liquid. I wish that we did have that much we could invest over in Edward Jones or something like that, or in some of the online banking. But until we reach that point, we have to keep it all liquid and keep building our accounts.
Are we, are we restricted from investing in online accounts? Something like American Express High Yield, which is currently paying about 4%, and it's liquid, ready right now anytime you want.
I can talk to my amateur tomorrow.
I will, Tim's gonna add whatever.
I have a rep running it.
Tim's gonna delve into that, and we'll get this for you on the next meeting. We'll get together.
I'll talk
Thank you
to
for the question.
I have a rep at Amex that I work with all the time. Any other questions? Awesome. Maybe my scout report while I'm here? Scouts. Can I get one back?
Yeah, you can do scouts while you're up here, huh? Yes.
Scouts are all good. The boys are doing phenomenal things. They got some great things planned for this year. Eagles, they're continuing to plug along, and we'll get them somehow eventually, without trying to murder them, putting everything off. That was on tape, wasn't it?
Just, we can edit that out, right?
No, there's no.
Thank you, sir. I think we should welcome Tim to this podium here. Thank you, this finance type person. Thank you, Tim. He's much more succinct and knowledgeable than I am, so I'm very happy with this. Okay. Post operations.
Commander,
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Yep. Thank you for a reminder. Do I hear a motion that we accept this report pending audit? Tom Williams. Second? Mike Barnett. All in favor? Raise your hand. All opposed? Same sign. Thank you, Mike. It carries. Okay, post operations and membership. Let's see. Roy's already given them the membership thing, so Steve, you want to do this?
How about you going to? Yes. Good evening, everyone. Anybody notice the dead tree is down? That used to be in the back, it was falling slowly into our parking lot. We took that down. We had to get Georgia Power to take the power line down and between the street lights, got that back up. We had to have some emergency plumbing repairs thanks to our freezing weather and the excessive use of toilet paper out of the ladies' room behind the bar. That line blew apart, we had to repair it, and so, hey, it's always fun doing the maintenance. Isn't that right?
Totally.
It's a crappy job. That's but everything else we're rolling with it. We got some HVAC, more HVAC repairs and stuff coming up that are going to be completed the 21st of this month. New thermostats being put in for the kitchen and the ladies' auxiliary and the office. So they'll have a remote sensor since they're both serving two different areas. So that's my report.
Briefly? And accurately.
Not counting the ice machine.
No. Tom, do you have anything on oratorical? Do you want to? Okay, not yet. Sons of the American Legion? No report. Thank you, sir. Nothing on Boys State to report. Jerry, am I happy? Blood drive, one coming up?
Like you said, we have a drive coming up next Thursday. So we've got 48 appointments available, and they're all filled, so it's not cut off, so once we get, that's great. Volunteer, appreciate it. We'll give a hope to next report, we'll have 48. That's what we're doing. Anyway, cover that one event, only one. So we got one coming up Monday.
Thank you, sir. So Thursday, right?
There's the blood drive.
Thursday's booked up. And Monday.
Monday afternoon is Richie's.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
Yeah.
Commander,
Okay, yes, sir.
on the Suns real quick. That spaghetti dinner, they got that changed to the
Yeah.
2nd. So, everybody knows. And we need to get it changed
Yes.
on the website.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for the reminder. Because of the gathering that's here for Reggie on the 15th of this month, we had, the Sons had a spaghetti dinner scheduled for that same day. And many of the Sons are writers, and they will be here. So it's rescheduled, that dinner is scheduled for March?
22nd. March 22nd?
March 22nd. Is that right? Is that
March
correct?
15th. Where's Chrissy? It's gonna be March 22nd or March 15th? Okay, 22nd. I just found out about it when I walked in tonight. So.
That's a Sunday.
Well, see, that's my life too.
We will get it correct.
Okay, this will be made known to the public about this change so that and we'll send it out to the entire post and we'll make all the necessary changes with Facebook and on the sign, etc. So that we don't have any kind of thing, okay? If you can, all right. I would ask Paul Williams for his report on children, youth, schools, and camps, but Paul had to leave. He was not feeling good, so he went home. But I'm going to give him a call once we're done with this meeting and check on him. I checked on him earlier, and I'm going to do it again before the night's over. Sea Cadets, any report? Should have just met you up here. Sorry.
I didn't even think about it. Nobody said I was smart. I was a CD.
Nobody.
Nobody, absolutely nobody. So the Sea Cadets, got some exciting stuff coming up with them. This weekend, the 15th and 16th will be the drill weekend. On Sunday the 16th, they're doing CPR and first aid training with the AED that we have here. That translates into an opportunity for each and every one of y'all here and whatever members we get that are not present to show up for a CPR, AED, and first aid class being held right here in the main hall on the 20th at 1000 to 1500. The other thing, the Sea Cadets are all be training with the Loganville Police Department on their electronic FATS trainer for weapons qualification, teaching them marksmanship, weapon handling, safety, and all that. And in April, we'll be going down to spend the night on a USS Yorktown with the Sea Cadets, so there'll be a lot of naval heritage there. Everybody served on the Yorktown? Nope, nobody around here that did. So anyways, that's my report.
Tom has posted, you have that published, right, the legislative stuff?
It will be.
Yeah, it will be. Do you want to, okay, thank you. Okay, valves, John, anything to report, John Sweetie? No? Not yet? Okay. Are there any other committee reports? Writers. Thank you. You're sitting in the dark back there, Daniel. He's hiding behind posts. Out of sight, out of mind. But always there.
All right, so membership, we got 43 members, 28 Legion members, non-auxiliary, and 12 Sons. The financial report will be in the report that you got from the Legion. Americanism, kind of crazy. We only had 5 riders out of the 43 actually report that they rode for 2 months. But those 5 riders rode for 2,337 miles during all this winter weather, by the way, and did 207 hours of community service. Activities at the National Commanders visit on January 17th. We had 4 riders participate in that. Me, Kate, Mike Barwell, and JJ as well. We asked them all the way from Monroe all the way to Conyers. We also presented an ALR donation of $500 to the VCF, which is the Veterans and Children's Foundation.
Microphone. Thank you.
I thought I was talking loud enough. Maybe not. January's riders meeting was delayed due to the weather, and we already had our first RFA meeting. If you know anything about RFA, it is a lot to do, a lot. The last time I could barely lift my left leg afterwards because I got all these bolts in me. But if you want to volunteer for that, we can even just have you sit at a table and help pass out flyers or sell T-shirts, something like that. But if you're interested in helping out with that, you can see me or Kate as well. On a sad note, we did lose a rider. He was a member for almost 19 years, and that's a lot of RFAs, a lot. He was a great guy, and I just want to take a moment of silence just for his memory. All right, thank y'all for that. We want to pray for Wanda and his family as well. Just think of them and keep them in their prayers. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Are you ready? Okay, at this time we're going to do old business. Okay. So our Judge Advocate General, Tom Williams, is going to do the second reading, but are there any of you who need to pay your dues for 2025? If there are, this is the person to see at that table. Would you raise your hand if you have to pay your dues? Okay, great. We do need to see your card for this. For the voting, it's going to be a paper ballot. I don't want anything to be said that, oh, so-and-so's here and they didn't have any kind of current membership that they could display. Roy has the members checked off here that have paid their dues. And so as he gets, you're going to have to come up here, I guess. And he's going to give you, he and Al are going to pass out the ballots, and Tom's going to read it as you read it. And here we go. Mr. Williams, if you'll come up, and Mr. Acord, if you and Mr. Wellecke will go over there. Thank you, Tom.
Okay, here we go, round 2. So I'm going to ground those of you that weren't here last month and may not have seen the emails, just so that you know what's going on for those of you that are new. Our post is governed by a set of bylaws that have been in existence since Bobby was commander and the state finally fussed at him and said, where are your bylaws? And so we adopted a set of bylaws, and there's a very strict set of things we have to do to amend those bylaws. So back in 2024, one of our members came to us with a proposed amendment to the bylaws. I'm the judge advocate. It was my job to review the bylaws that we currently had and make sure that it fit. I met with the member, went over some of those changes. We ran that change by the state judge advocate, Tony Probst. I actually met with Tony when the national commander was here and reviewed it again. And so Tony's on board. There were also some typos in our bylaws, which we'll fix at this time too. Tony pointed those out to me with a red pen, which I thought was very kind of him. So this amendment is designed to set aside a process in a very narrow case. Sometimes there are complaints that are made at this post. We have a lot of patrons here, we have a lot of members here, we have employees here, there are people in and out all the time, and any of those people can complain at any time. Usually those things are just handled. right? So if a complaint comes up, it's the job of the commander or the officer on duty to handle that. That can be something very simple, it can be something complicated. Those things are generally handled. Sometimes there are complaints that are bigger than the board can handle directly, but don't yet reach a legal status. And so if a complaint reaches something where a law has been broken or somebody thinks that a law has been broken, then that falls underneath legal statutes, and again, not something that we deal with. So this section that we're talking about adding to our bylaws covers when a person who is representing the post as a committeeman, and that can be a member of the executive committee, it could be a color guard member, it could be anybody who in some official capacity is representing the post, has a complaint lodged against them. This gives them due process. It gives them the opportunity to say, I want to hold here and ask for an outside party to arbitrate this matter, okay? So if you have questions, there were some questions last time, I'm gonna read it first, and then I'll handle any questions that you might have, and then we're gonna vote on it. And again, the board has elected to do this via paper ballot.
Yep.
So you'll get a paper ballot. It's the same letter I passed out last month, and it just will have a place on the bottom for you to mark whether you approve this change or not. It will take 2/3 of the members present. We have a quorum. So when you have a quorum, 2/3 of the members present at this meeting have to approve it. I will say that I recommend approval, the state judge advocate recommends approval, and the board has recommended approval to me. Okay? Each of you vote your own conscience, but know that this has been handled in the best way that we can handle it. So here we go. This is going to be very dry and boring, but please listen closely in case you have questions. This will be a new Article 12. This will supplant the existing Article 12, which will become Article 13. And I know for some of you Army guys, that has a big thing to Article 13, but don't worry about that.
Thank you.
This will become the new Article 12 in our bylaws. Section 1. Any member in good standing or any employee or patron of the post, hereby noted as claimant, may from time to time register a complaint in writing to the Post Executive Committee. In some cases, this complaint may be about or against an officer or committeeman of the post, hereby designated as respondent. For less serious complaints, the Commander and Executive Committee will take such complaints and try to resolve each one to the best satisfaction of all parties. More serious complaints and offenses, or at the written request of the respondent, who again is the person who's being complained about, providing the details of the complaint do not reach a level where local, state, or federal laws or statutes have been broken, and that are levied against any officer or committeeman shall be presented to the Executive Committee, along with substantiating evidence of the presumed complaint or offense. The Executive Committee shall conduct a formal investigation with both parties and any other members deemed necessary to gather facts associated with said complaint or offense. After completion of the formal investigation, all evidence and statements from the concerned party shall be provided to a designated arbitrator for resolution. The arbitrator will be a neutral third party who is not a member of the post. The parties agree that the dispute is to be arbitrated by the designated arbitrator and to abide by the rules of the arbitration process and the final determination of the arbitrator. Additionally, by consenting to the arbitrator process, the concerned parties are waiving their right to litigate the dispute in court. If the complainant refuses arbitration, the registered complaint or offense will be dismissed. Refer to the arbitration policy document attached, but it's not attached to this, for details of the arbitration process. And we've selected a standard arbitration that doesn't require a legal arbitrator. It can just be a disinterested third party. Section 2, the designated arbitrator shall make a final recommendation on the dispute, and the results shall be issued in writing to the Executive Committee for implementation within the guidelines of these bylaws and applicable statutes or laws that may be in play. Any disciplinary actions to any party as identified by the arbitrator shall be implemented by the Executive Committee. Only the Executive Committee can levy disciplinary action for a post officer or executive committeeman, noted as the respondent. So that's the new Article 12. And again, that is a dispute resolution article that we did not previously have. Both the state and myself believe that it's a good idea to have a dispute resolution article in our bylaws. So that's what we have. So are there any questions before we call for the vote? Sir?
Are the Sons involved in this vote?
No.
Thank you.
It's not that we don't love you, it's just that you're not governed by the same bylaws. Any other questions? Sir?
Do you expect there'll be a cost to engage an outside arbitrator?
That's a possibility, but I think that should be avoided, right? This says that it's just a non-post member, and so it's not generally conceived of, at least in our reading, as a legal arbitrator, somebody you would have to pay. It could be a businessman from the community who's not a member of the Post. It could be, again, it would be for the parties to decide who the arbitrator was. If there was a cost, they'd have to determine how that would be borne at that time, sir.
You're going to try to have volunteers then?
Yes. Sir?
Who picks the arbitrator?
So the two parties would have to pick the arbitrator, right? They would have to be agreed upon by both parties. Any other questions?
Okay, we need to get the.
All right, so we're gonna allow you now to come up and get your ballot. Again, if you are not currently a member in good standing and need to pay your dues, please go ahead and do that while you're up here. Otherwise, grab your ballot and then mark them and turn them back in. These gentlemen will guide you. So that can be.
It's helpful to have your membership card so that we don't have to go down through the list. And I'll give you a couple of minutes to look over this for yourselves. And again, this is your personal vote.
Have you heard anything yet?
What's going on?
Have you heard it? You're got it.
Again, if you are a current
You hold it down.
card-holding member in the year 2025,
If I do, you'll know
you are
about it.
eligible to vote. You can always abstain, but you are eligible to vote.
I saw that.
If you are a new member, this includes you.
I thought about it all year.
This is about Constitution and bylaws. This is not about anything but that.
Oh, look at Daniel. Daniel's is laminated. $5 said that cake. Yes, sir.
Yes, nope, not betting that. Definitely a cake.
Okay, now, when we get to the end of this, if you would collect votes, that would be great. I would appreciate it.
Go ahead.
Steve, once you have finished casting your, or putting your mark on a piece
So
of
the PA
paper,
recognizes. Well, I went online and it says. Yeah, I'm finding out.
either circle yea or nay, or put an X to the left of your choice. Steve, let's collect, and Al will collect.
But if you call,
Okay?
just tell him. Current due.
I will be an innocent bystander.
I don't know about that. She was complaining that since that she was last yeah.
Look at the way them hunting.
I can imagine. You know, when they go back off my legs, because that happened right where I worked. You know, it took me about 2 months. Yeah, no problem. Have a comment. most of them are longer than they can.
Oh, really?
You have to get a.
So,
What is the single amount that you're currently grading? It's on the.
I knew you weren't gonna pull my number. I don't want you to do it.
I have told you.
yeah.
You're saying, hey,
Won't be the chief.
okay, yeah, call me too. You know what cracks me up?
I got a budget number that we're first rate.
My father's shirt.
I would like to remind everyone that the camera is still running.
Yes, it is.
And some opinions might be sitting out into la la land. And you don't want them out there.
This YouTube transmission may not make it.
Just saying.
Might be a glitch on the channel.
Don't worry about
Be aware that the camera
That's
is on.
okay, I've been hit by
the
that.
microphone.
I see you.
That's right. Here, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You okay? Yeah.
He was trying to hit me with his walk.
Hey, ain't nothing.
Thank you, sir. Scheduled for the first Friday of the month, right?
Yes, first Friday of the month at 1 o'clock. Hi, I'm Mike Madsen. I'm your Veteran Service Officer. We currently have no money in the account. But y'all can change that. No, joking. Okay, so what we have is a PTSD support group starting here. It'll be the first Friday of every month. It is, let me see if I can figure out how to do this. Hosted by the American Legion, promoted by Operation Rally Point, supported by the VA Vet Center, and facilitated by the PTSD Foundation of America. Eliminate the word crap. That wasn't supposed to be in there. Basically, it's not a whole bunch of guys just sitting around telling war stories or anything like that. It is actually curriculum-based. PTSD Foundation of America is a nationwide program. They have a residential program, 9 months, called Camp Hope. I believe it's in Texas. Great program, getting lots of reviews. Okay, real quick, since I was confused on the events, of course, there's stuff every Friday night. There's always something going on up here. It might be cheesesteak. This Friday night, it's chicken wings. We call them air wings. You'll be able to see any of these events will be on Facebook. They'll be on the website, thanks to Don. They're on the digital sign out by the street, and they go out in the mailer. The commander did not want you guys to get bombarded by that stuff, so basically it goes out. I try to sneak maybe about one a week unless there's something special. I work hand in hand with Chrissy. She does amazing things back there and all that stuff. I'm kind of the idea fairy, and she's kind of, we're all looking to you guys to be the participation fairies. We need help. And I don't know how to say it other than that. I mean, we're open to the public, but we can't really ask the public to help us, right? It doesn't make sense. So I'm relying on you guys to really start participating. Something he won't say, but I will say, is we have a great lunch up here, and you guys are eating lunch somewhere. So I'm going to say, one time a month, grab yourself, grab your significant other, maybe a friend or something like that, and come have lunch. You had a free meal up here, you owe me one. Okay? Let's see, we've got a bike show coming. Wait, let's do this first. Ride for America has asked me to be the law enforcement liaison again, which means they also get all the promotions and stuff like that, which is super cool, and we're working on a really cool Grand Marshal. Hopefully one of those is going to pan out. It's going to be super exciting. It's a lot of fun. Then the next weekend, which will be, okay, Ride for America's 26th, correct? Okay, that next weekend, we got a gun show coming, folks. They are going to put 110 tables in this room. And guess what? They're all sold. We sold out in 2 days. There's 110 tables going in here with all sorts of cool, neat gee whiz stuff. We need you to come up and buy stuff, and we'll have a lot of fun, and it's a great place to have lunch. All right, the weekend after that, got with all the big family, the motorcycle families, ride for the riders here and the military veterans there and the MFC there and all that other stuff. We're having a bike show. And believe it or not, gangbusters. They're promoting it to the entire state. So that looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. The other big one that I have on the books will be the car show in August, and we're already selling booths for that. If you're not coming up for the country breakfast, first Saturday of every month, it's your own fault, and I hope none of y'all show up because it's great for me. It's all you can eat. So you guys don't show up, I get my $12 and your $12 worth, and it's magnificent. What we're going to start doing, I think in April, we're going to do an arts and craft show that day too. So there'll be a lot of participation. Talking about arts and crafts, we sell those tables in here that goes directly to help support the American Legion. So you guys know anybody who does arts and crafts? Come get a table, $25, $30, what you do, right? But it helps the traffic. Now, talking about that, you guys know I work with Operation Rally Point. Things are going very strange over there right now because, well, quite frankly, we had somebody that works with us that used to be in our program that we transferred the apartment over in their name. Well, this last Friday, Watts, who's not here tonight because of this, he said he'd asked me, had I talked to the gentleman, I said, no, I heard he was sick. And quite frankly, I'm a sissy and I didn't want to get sick, so I haven't seen the guy. Watts went over to check on him. A door kind of slid open, kind of freaked Watts out. You know, he's infantry, so he's a little skittish. And so he decided to stay there. He knocked on the door. He went inside. Guy was in a diabetic coma and almost died. He had destroyed his house trying to get to his phone. The EMT told Watts another 15, 20 minutes, he would have been dead. Ralph, where are you, buddy? Thank you so much. The other night you helped Watts. One of the programs in Atlanta turned over an 82-year-old single disabled veteran to us at Operation Rounding Point. Can you imagine? We deal with homeless veterans. They booted him out of their program for no particular reason, that he doesn't have any family and he's disabled. And Watts, being the guy he is, he picked up the pace, went and picked him up in that really kind of girlish car he has. He came straight over here, and Ralph and them got him a wheelchair, correct? Right. And then apparently he's infantry, so he's not that bright. They had a little trouble figuring out how it worked. Okay. So apparently he panicked. He called me, and I said, "I'm sorry, I don't work past 10 o'clock." Aviation. What the hell, right? So Watts called the fire department out in Monroe, and they actually came and carried the guy in to the apartment, who ironically fell out of the bed that night, and Watts was back over there at 3 a.m. in the morning. So tonight he's over at ICU with the gentleman that had the diabetic coma, and he tells everybody to come say that whole "God loves the infantry," blah, blah, blah. All right, talk about the infantry and somebody else who says God loves the infantry. Stan brought me over to Dogwoods of Gwinnett, or Grayson?
Dogwood Forest of Grayson.
Okay, it's an assisted living home, bougie, and we talked with, there was quite a few folks there, wasn't there? All the veterans there had called us, and we went over there, and Stan was a very gracious host, said a whole lot of nice stuff about me, which really confused me. But there was probably, I would say, 25 to 30 vets there, and I'm doing a lot of stuff helping them. Look, I got to tell you guys, I'm finding out a lot of things now. If you go into an assisted living, I'm trying to find out what the VA will actually help with, because there was one gentleman, and I'm just going to say this, and then I'll get out of here. He came up to me with his father. His father's a 96-year-old World War II veteran. They're paying $8,900 a month for his father to be there. And I was floored. I told my kids that, and they basically said, "So, Dad, you ever gone snipe hunting?" Not real sure what that means, but I was concerned. Other than that, I'm scheduling into May now. 31 appointments in January. Facebook is up, 28,000 views a month, 3,600 followers. A lot of the little movies that we put out. If you haven't played bingo, come up here and play bingo one time. Carol brought me up here. We played bingo, and we didn't win anything, but it was a lot of fun. And look, I'm a pretty damn smart guy. Just ask Tom. We know him as Yoda. And Dale came with us, our photographer now. And it's a little confusing and relatively fast-paced. So I know a lot of you guys are old, but hey, take a Jared, I'll come up here and play bingo. What else can I think of? If you guys don't know Steve, he's responsible for the digital sign. So if nothing gets posted up there, it's not my fault. I do the software, he does the hardware, and that's my rule.
Carry on. You liar. I'm sorry. By the way, running on the TV back there, and before we had them all running on the TVs here, that's the menu for if you come into the bingo menu. And there's a different menu that we have running when you go into the Patriot Grill. Okay, now back to the vote, now that we've had our entertainment. Okay, it is exactly as Roy points out, there are 40 votes. 2/3 of 40 is 30-10. So by a vote of 30-10, the yeas have it. Tom.
Thank you, sir. I just wanted to thank everybody for taking the time to vote. I wanted to thank Frank for bringing forth the motion. I wanted to thank those of you that have taken the time to provide feedback. It's a big deal when we update our bylaws. It's not an easy thing to do to make everybody happy. It's not an easy thing to do to make this state happy. Trust me, I know. So I just appreciate everyone's time with that. If you will wait about a week. I have to get the rest of the red ink changes, which again were just typos that the state pointed out to me, done. And then the commander and the executive committee will sign these updated bylaws, and we'll get them posted to the website. And I will have Mike send out in the next email that goes out a link so that everyone has that, so that you can see all of the bylaws, including this update. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. And thank you, Tom, for all the work that you put into this, all the research that you did to be sure that we were on the right track. We appreciate that. And like Tom said, we'll get this to the state and get their blessings on it. We don't have to do that, okay. But we will submit to them our new constitution and bylaws. And as soon as we take care of all that, you'll receive a copy, and it will be dated as approved as of tonight. Okay? So it's forthcoming. Do we have any new business? Good. Do I hear anything for the good of the order? Yes, sir.
Sorry, I should have done this while I was up here. For those of you that were here for the National Commanders visit, our state commander, Jim Fultz, was here that day.
Right.
His wife, Thea, has been a commander in her own right, and shortly after the National Commanders visit, Thea had what amounted to a very large blood clot that was lodged in her neck. And just so that those of you who might have seen or heard about that through the riders, because she's a district director, Thea did come through the surgery okay, and is looking to make a full recovery, and so hopefully we'll see her around. She was very helpful to us when we were dealing with the large homeless situation. She was running a very similar program down towards Villa Rica, and we interacted with her a lot, and so we wish her and Jim the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Over the last week, I've done 3 live stream funerals at my church. I'm just encouraging you, be a part of what's going on here as much as you possibly can. No one knows when the end comes or when you become unable to do things. So let's take advantage of our friendships and of the camaraderie that is possible here at this post. Keep up with one another. I want to keep you informed of what we're doing here. And I hope that you'll come down and join in. Actually, it's a pretty good time, except for us that are running it sometimes. But let me encourage you to be a part of what we have here. Like I said, you never know when you're not going to be able to do it anymore, physically or mentally. So, next meeting, Tuesday, March the 4th. Social dinners at 1900, and the business meeting is at 2000, as now. Do I have a motion for adjournment? God, Tom, that was awfully quick. Okay. Captain of the Color Guard.
Flag of our country to remain in place of honor. Right hand salute. 2.
Stan, would you please come and lead us in our closing prayer? Not covered.
Real quick before I do the prayer, it's been noted about Reggie, and Reggie has been with this post for about 15 years, and until he got cancer the first time, he was very, very devoted, not just to the post, but to the riders too. The Color Guard is participating in his services on Monday at 3 o'clock, and the Color Guard and the riders will be there. So I encourage the post to turn out as much as possible. I mean, it's terrible to think about this, but think about if you were there, when you want your post buddies to be there too. There will be a coin ceremony. Not many people know about the coin ceremony, But you don't have to have a challenge coin. You can bring any kind of coin or pin that you like to put up on the table and show your last respects as a veteran. So love to have you there to show respects to Reggie and his family. Until then, please pray for his family, because it's a bad thing to lose a veteran that's suffered like he suffered. He kept it from us for a long, long time. I knew about it, and some of the other members knew about it, but very few people, because he didn't want anybody to feel sorry for him. So he's a tough man, good man, done a lot for the Legion. So show up at Tim Stewart Funeral Home here in Loganville, 3 o'clock Monday. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Visitation starts at 1.
Say it again.
Visitation starts at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, visitation, you're right. Visitation starts at 1, and then the service is at 3. Anything else? No? Got the sun covered, bow our heads. Dear Heavenly Father, we come back to you tonight, giving you praise because we got a lot of things accomplished tonight, and we felt your presence, and we ask you continue to be with us and all of our members. Please bless all of our military that's all across this great world and help us get this country back in shape. And we thank you for all the good things that you continue to do, not only for us, but for our district, state, and nation. Please continue to be with us and bless us. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, sir. Recover. I now declare this meeting of American Legion Post 233, the American Legion Department of Georgia, adjourned.